Dad.
Welcome to Nerds at Lunch, or your podcast for news on video games, anime, and whatever else we decide. It really depends on our mood.
It's our will.
We've decided to stop with my off-the-cuff joke at the start of the show, because as it turns out, that is extremely uneven in quality.
Newspaper joke at beginning of American Dad. Outdated.
I was going to just read Simpsons quotes, but apparently that's plagiarism. Steve, Mark, and myself here today. Pat is at work. Take that, Republicans. Black people do have jobs.
Okay.
Just saying. That's what Donald Trump is saying, not me.
How dare you sully the name of President Trump?
Okay, let's move on to news. Video games first up. Freedom Planet is out. This seems like it'd be more your speed. Mark, did you play it yet?
Yes, I have. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's made by an indie studio, Galaxy Trails. It's just going to start off as a Sonic fan game, but then they decided, let's make this be its own thing. Instead of a blue hedgehog, you got a purple dragon, and instead of tails, you got like a cat. The game's it's just great.
Well, that's good. I might pick it up on payday. It does look pretty fun. I admit some of the level layouts I saw at E3 were a little confusing.
There's a lot of Sonic muscle memory issues that when you first start the game. Because you want to instinctively maybe press down when you're trying to go down slopes for extra speed. She ain't no blue hedgehog. She has an easy way to get up to do a spin dash, though. You just press down and then you press like X and she'll just do a dragon boost. Dragon boost allows you to go in a dash either horizontally or diagonal up, down. No straight up and down.
Oh, interesting.
That's Lilac's mechanic. The cat girl gets the bike and she can wall jump like X. And then the last girl, Mila, she's basically your Tails, and her second jump is amazing. It's more equatable, I think, to Tails or Yoshi's flutter jump.
Would this spawn an Archie comic with an uncomfortable fan base, do you think?
Well, I mean, the Miiverse community alone for it is full of people like drawing Sonic and stuff. So if they wanted to do like a one-shot manga comic series for this game, they could. There definitely could be. There's potential for sequels here, obviously, because they've obviously got a great product here. It turns out this was a Kickstarter game originally, too. Yeah, all they wanted was maybe 20,000.
Yeah, I can imagine. It seems about.
That's all it took. And the end product is fantastic. The graphics look like they're perfectly out of like a Sega Saturn. The music came out really good too. The boss fights also good. Oh, and another good old Sonic muscle memory betrayal thing of sorts. Enemies don't hurt you simply by you running into them. They have to actually attack you for you to lose health. That is
odd for a platformer in general.
It's refreshing of sorts.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay, nice, let's do this. There's a little bit of collective thing there if you want it to be there. There's cards strewn about through the levels. Find those, and you get like concept art and music and stuff like that. And there's achievements too. No
Grayos Gemeralds or anything like that.
The only thing equatable to that, like the Master Emerald, would probably be like the Kingdom Stone that they have. It's basically it powers the entire world, kind of. And you could almost tell when it's stolen that this was originally going to be like Hidden Palace. It's funny. You look at the the main bad guy of the series, Lord Brevin. Flip his head upside down, you can actually see like Eggman's mustache and stuff. It's really funny. Oh, and you have the ability in this game to either play adventure mode, where you get your cutscenes between stages, or classic mode, where you can just play stage through stage, no story. If you play adventure mode, though, the studio decided to make basically Pixar-esque bloopers for the cutscenes. So as long as you do the correct inputs, and I think it's just pressing X and down, you'll get bloopers that play instead, and that's pretty fun. It's a nice little touch. I got it on sale because I downloaded it from the preview event from E3. Got rid of about $2 off of it, so
It's only like 10, right?
it'd be 13 then. It's 15. No matter where you have wanted to get this game, it's always been 15. And when you fight the bosses, there's definitely a good Gunstar Heroes vibe to it too. There's one boss that comes up, he does remind you of Seven Force. A lot. So if people love Gunstar Heroes, then this is definitely up their alley too.
People love the hell out of Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah. There's elemental shields like Sonic's of sorts, but they aren't that similar in that regard. I mean, the fire one will protect you from heat and stuff, but they also seem to have a nice good secondary abilities too, like drawing crystals to you or health orbs and stuff to you. So you don't get like bouncing like you would from a bubble shield, but they'll try to give you something else instead. And the spin dash the spin dash, basically that mechanic, it allows for some pretty good level design where you're supposed to be ricocheting yourself around and such. It encourages some pretty good exploration.
Okay, I will try to get tomorrow when I get paid, play it a little bit, and maybe we'll have some impressions of it next week. I still gotta finish Plague Knight though, so.
I finished Plague Knight. After our recording, I just went through, finished his game, and I beat all the challenges and that Shovel Knight one. Turns out that was the last room, Jason.
Huh.
You get nothing for it, just satisfaction.
As is the proper way for old school games.
Yeah.
So next up, Skullkid has been confirmed for Hyrule Warriors Heroes, the 3DS version. No word on if you'll be able to transfer him over to the Wii U yet, but probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that any of the characters would be able to, since why would they let you do some and not others?
Yeah. Well, the code in the actual game, as far as we know, was only for Tetra and the King of Red Lions. It's probably for all the new characters.
Yeah. Steve, you're very happy about that, aren't you?
Yeah. You can tell the story if you want, Steve, but I don't know if your wife will be mad at you.
I don't know.
You could have just said someone, now you gave it away, Jason.
Well, it's okay if we know. We're not going to tell anybody.
She's definitely not a fan of Lana. Mostly because of the fact that she feels that they could have put Saria in instead for the exact same type of, with like the Deku stick and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
So
And then she finds her kind of obnoxious too, especially with the the summoning gate where she does all of her little dances and stuff.
Yes. Oh God, yes. I've had to watch that so many times doing the infinite rupee glitch. It's so sad. As we see with Hyrule 3DS, they grant you the ability to jump between characters.
Yeah.
If they put that in the Wii U version, my God, please.
Wait, do you mean like when you're playing and you have other characters that like being controlled by like an AI, you can actually switch to them?
Yeah, the captains and stuff.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That would be a nice update for the Wii U, especially on some maps where instead of rescuing Zelda, I can just switch to her and my life is easier.
I'll rescue myself, thank you.
Those guys, it's like someone's in danger and you see them just standing there.
Ow!
No, I leveled you up to 50 before we started this. You could probably take care of these guys. Nope, you gotta help me.
As long as they won't let you control like captains and stuff, but like any of the Zelda people.
Any main character.
Yeah. People who matter. Green biker dude, no!
This probably means we're getting some Midora enemies too.
Yeah, it was curious how in the same update of Skullkid we got Phantom Ganon from Ocarina.
Yeah. And he uses an ocarina, apparently.
I think they got that backwards.
I think, yeah, that might have been a mistranslation. Because his thing would be paintings.
Otherwise, he'd be pulling out a big old friggin' pipe organ. So, does anybody think the Groose will be loose?
I doubt it.
Y'all remember Skyward Sword, right? The game with Girahim?
Oh, yeah, everyone loves Skyward Sword. Oh, no. People complain about it needlessly, despite it being a perfectly competent game. And all they mention is Groose.
I still am hoping for either Vahati or Naburu.
Yeah, Vati is probably one of my favorite enemies, so I'd love to see him in there.
That would be nice. There's, 2 more slots?
I don't know if Skullkid took one away, but technically one, I guess.
Yeah, I think Vadi would be good. Because Skullkid's sort of a good guy. Or at
And then
least
with like all the special attacks, you can turn into the giant eyeball.
Yes.
pretty amazing.
Or start the ceremonial bells where you just win the stage in like 5 minutes. That was crap the first time I played Minish Cap. It's like, these enemies won't get out of my way. I'm kind of shocked that there's been no reference really at all to the Oracle games, has there? It's a
So
shame.
what's memorable about them?
I could have gone for either Din or Nehru.
What
Or
did
heck,
they do except stand there?
General Onox would have been fun.
Yeah. I mean, the last two bosses are fairly cool looking, but
You could get the king from the CDI games.
thankfully, I don't think we'll be seeing those.
Yeah. Well, maybe another slot could be Linkle, unless they're going to let you change your gender.
Could be female Link, but we have two heroes already. Technically, Skullkid's a villain, and we know at least one of his finals is going to be Midora.
Yeah. It did. All we know is information. We don't have any pictures yet, so we're all going to assume Skullkid's wearing the mask.
He has to be. That's his whole thing.
Yeah. Well, there was a Twilight Princess Skullkid. There's been more than one Skullkid.
Well, no. This specific Skullkid is the one who teaches you a song in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. So the Ocarina one is the Majora one. Then we have the Twilight Princess one.
Well, yeah, but if you go into the forest, you become a Skullkid.
Hmm.
And adults become Staphos. That's a legend.
So was there being only one timeline?
So next up, Splatnet is live in North America. You just go on the main Splatoon website, log in with your Nintendo ID, and it allows you to check if your friends are online, the current maps, and set up battle plans. I haven't tried that yet. I assume it lets you message your friends and say, hey, let's fight later. I just thought I'd mention it. I haven't played much Splatoon lately.
Yeah. I think, aren't we all just basically waiting for the Octoling update now?
I think so. That'll be their big thing, probably in November, though, to spike sales.
Yeah. And Kali and Marie amiibo. GJ Octavio's amiibo would be freaking bigger than Mario.
Well, it would just be the octopus. I don't think we get his Mac.
They can miniaturize his Mac.
I know, but that's not the same. I'd rather have him in the snow globe if they were going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Miyamoto comes on. We did a special amiibo for the holidays. DJ Octavio in the snow globe.
Aww.
War crimes by capturing a democratically elected leader.
If you shake it, it'll release one of his lines of dub. Except it'll be different in the British version.
No. When you flip it over, there's a little record you can scratch.
Includes some sick wasabi beats.
You know, in Europe, he doesn't say any of that.
No, that's what I was just saying. Yeah.
It's horrible.
They changed all of it.
He's still DJ Octavio, I think, but
yeah,
he doesn't say anything cool. He just says, "Oh man."
Just weird, like generic-y stuff. I think, like not even like the fun, slimy little hipster.
Let's be fair here. What he says in America is generic, but it's funny.
Yeah,
because you don't expect a freaking techno octopus to be the last boss.
I'm gonna dub stomp you into oblivion. It's fun. It's just come on. Let's get the Octolings and stuff.
I think a big thing is we haven't had time to do like a big group battle either. Like go in as a team and do stuff. Hopefully after the holidays.
There's still that threat of those hackers out there, ain't there?
Yeah, that's another reason I stopped playing. If you're listening to this and haven't heard, some people have hacked and found the Octolings in the game data. But if you play them and leave the lobby before them, the game doesn't know how to display their avatar, and you could lose all your save data. So if you see an Octoling,
stick around and pray they leave.
In your room, don't leave until they do. If that means you just have to sit there for a while, that's all you can do.
Yeah. Also,
back up your saves. Splatoon doesn't have any kind of protection on it, so if you can, back it up on your PC.
I don't know how many hackers are out there that are engaged with this. I
would imagine only a few jerks are still doing it.
Yeah, it's like the one I could swear his code was like LN then a bunch of numbers. I think somebody posted it in Etika's video.
I'm sure you can report them.
Yeah.
On happier news, Lego Dimensions is out, and I'm tempted to pick it up. Now, I'm a fan of pretty much every property in here. They got me when they had Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, The Simpsons, and Doctor Who. That's just ridiculous. I have to buy this.
How much to get it started?
Not $99 because of the dumb portal you have to buy. Level packs are $25, and then individual figures are a little cheaper. 15 and then 12.
Yeesh.
They come with a lot. They come with a bunch of little Legos though, so it's not that bad.
I'd wait for Black Friday for that.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's gonna be a pack or something. Because looking at, even if I just get the stuff I want, I'm probably gonna spend over $2.
Looks neat, but my hell is amiibos. I'm
Yeah, that's the problem. There's no amiibos I want right now, so that's not gonna take away from anything.
You'll get Mega Yoshi next month, yeah?
Maybe. I don't know if I can justify that.
I've got like, thanks to Toys R Us putting the bundle up early, I've got like myself in for 2 of those freaking bundles right now. I have one at GameStop just in case Toys R Us screws me and vice versa.
Yeah.
I'll just return the other one.
Amiibo fighters? Or
What's
Amiibo
that?
fighters?
Oh, I mean for
Animal Crossing.
Woolly World.
I
The
got
Animal Crossing thing, oh god.
We might do a whole segment on that sometime, but I'm not getting into how confusing that is.
Yeah, that's... Everybody knew that people were gonna just probably pick and choose the ones they wanted.
Yeah.
So that's why KK's in a bundle.
I'm surprised they made a Rossetti.
Not even the pose I wanted either.
Well, do you know why?
Mm.
Because little children are afraid of him. You know what I say to you? You
Man,
cheated. You should be afraid. That's why he's there.
You should treat him like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, that's the Japanese one. They haven't shown the American Rossetti yet. It's just going to be him yelling.
Well, we didn't get Angry Kirby for his amiibo.
What are you talking about? My Kirby has angry eyebrows.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually work because he's smiling. And actually, it's quite creepy, but still.
Dimensions looks neat, but not my thing because too much for me.
If I pick it up, I'll let you guys know. It looks pretty good. And, I mean, honestly, Ghostbusters content, I have to. Now, let's move on to Smash Brothers. The ballot's over. We just got some stage DLC. Shocking stage DLC because we got a good stage in the Wii U version.
Yes.
God.
Yes. And we got Duck Hunt for free in the 3DS version.
That seems like a weird oversight, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like, what the... I can't even remember. Oh, that's right. Duck Hunt, you had to fight him on Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weird.
Hopefully it's been fixed now.
Yeah. I have not gotten any of the paid DLC this time around. I'm just weighing like how I want to go about this. Like, do I want to just get it all again or not? Or do I just want to get the stages or do I just want to simply support the Wii U version now? And like fighter wise, I want both versions to have all the fighters.
Yeah.
For a stage like this, yeah, I'd like the Mario Maker stage, but maybe I just want it for the Wii U version.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm sticking with, mainly Wii U. I do want some of those Mii costumes, though.
Yeah, Rathalos looks good.
Very.
I noticed how this round of DLC killed a couple of people's ballot hopes, like Toad and stuff, but on the most part, it was pretty tame compared to the Megaton that was K. Rool and Crom and Lloyd.
Well, I'm going to be honest, Toad was never going to win. I wish people would stop asking for, like, supporting cast members. I get that he was in Mario 2, but Nintendo clearly doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
Maybe at best we'll get a Captain Toad assist trophy at some point.
He can't jump. Yeah, the ballot was actually, we don't know if it was taking votes or not, but it was like not taken down after the third. It only went down, I think, yesterday or the day before. And it wasn't the simultaneous thing. I think Japan was first, then Canada, then America.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, Mark. Ballot doesn't matter.
No, it's just a suggestion box.
Basically, they're not. They already have who they want, or they would have slots. They wouldn't reserve 3 character slots like that if they didn't know who they want.
Yes, viewers, the game has been data mined again, so we have 3 character slots and a bunch of stages, 2 of which look to be completely brand new because they have Omegas.
Well, everything has an Omega now. Even Pirate Ship. Well, that platform, those pirate platforms should have been the Wind Waker stage to begin with.
Yeah. I think in terms of stages left, if they want to dip into any old stages, it just seems like they love N64s right now, so...
Well, they're trying to get them on a modern system, so if they ever want to use them again, then I have to rebuild them from the ground up.
I guess the only stage left people would want then is Saffron City.
I don't want that stage because it's terrible.
You didn't like the sudden clip art coming out of the door?
That I didn't mind because it was N64, but I didn't like the weird narrow cliffs and stuff. What you're gonna get in that stage is a bunch of people wall jumping.
Yeah, you have to spike them.
Yeah, and hope they don't like uppercut you or something. It's just not built for modern Smash mechanics.
3 characters. I wonder how long Sakurai's gonna have us twist in the wind.
I think we're probably gonna get a direct soon and maybe a little tease.
A lot of folks were quick to notice the ballot ended on 10.3, and that's when it came out, the 3DS version. So people are wondering maybe 11.20. That's a pattern, and Sakurai does not like appealing to those.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll find out before the 20th.
Yeah, he loves hiding stuff in plain sight, too. Like, we knew about basically Little Mac instantly.
They need some big announcement. The Christmas rush, though, so...
Yeah. I think one of them is going to be a returning veteran. Everybody's thinking Wolf. And then 2 are suggestion box. So as for who they are, we'll see.
There were those rumors that the Shovel Knight developers met with Sakurai.
That was way forward. We just, on the day the ballot would have closed on the 3rd, I don't know if it was a way forward developer himself or somebody else put the pick up, but yeah, Sakurai was pictured with a way forward developer. We don't know.
He's technically independent, and they're a big enough company that they could hire him.
We just don't know any context behind the pick, where, when, why, but it exists. So for all we know, maybe it was a convention, maybe it was PAX or something. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't really go to cons. He's not a very social guy.
So, for all things considered, yes, we do have a picture of Sakurai with Way Forward.
Sakurai to make the next Shantae game confirmed.
But he'd probably do a good Mighty Switch Force.
Probably the most evil Mighty Switch Force.
Well, they did it, the Adventure Times and stuff too, or another Batman Brave and the Bold. I heard that game's all right.
If he did an Adventure Time game, I would die. That would be the best Adventure Time game.
Adventure Time Subspace Emissary 2.
No. If he was going to work for them, they would definitely want him on Shantae. And hey, maybe Shantae's story would be hilarious instead of sad.
Her mom died to a pirate, and her dad's most likely dead too. We don't know about her dad really. We do know the dad's human. That's about it.
I don't know how a genie can die to begin with, so let's just not even get into that.
So, as with anything like we've seen with Sakurai, if only he would have been the one to tweet out the pick, that would have confirmed it. Because he tweeted out that whole Monado thing a while ago, and people were like, "Oh, that doesn't confirm Shulk at all." Like, oh, Sakurai was seen eating a bagel. I guess bagels are confirmed for Smash.
This cat was in Smash, so technically.
I mean, I'd be down with Wolf coming back, because I loved playing as Wolf, but they need to fix him up a bit more. Change that damn final, too.
Well, we know that's not happening.
Yeah, too lazy.
Maybe his forward B could go up in a more noticeable arc.
I'd like to think the 3 potential winners to make a decent amount of people happy, because making everybody happy is freaking impossible in Smash Brothers, is make it Wolf, K-Rool, and then either Shovel or Shantae. And you've pretty much got a good chunk of people, except for the Isaac fans and the Crystal fans.
Let's be honest here. We don't want the people who want K-Rool.
Yeah.
People can, go make an iguana fat or something. I don't care.
I think the K-Rool fans are basically the Ridley fans that have moved on. Because K. Rool, he's had like 2 games to try to get into Smash, and it's not happened.
Yeah. Nintendo doesn't consider him important. That's the problem. He's not iconic. It's nostalgia. I played the original Donkey Kong. I know K. Rool, and he was never a good boss. He's honestly the worst part of every Donkey Kong game, except maybe 64, but that's only because 64 was pretty bad.
Collectathon the game.
7-year end boss. Oh, you gotta play as all the Kongs in this one. I'm like, no, I really don't.
Just too chunky and beat him from 1.
Oh, by the way, you don't use any of your actual moves to fight him? Each stage is a puzzle.
No weapons allowed either. Why can't I bring my blaster?
Why did I spend 20 hours upgrading all this crap if I can't use it?
Yeah.
But enough about that.
So I'd like to think I'm pretty sure I got at least one of those 3 right.
Well, we'll find out. We don't get anything this month, but it is bi-monthly, so November we should get something.
We need a direct so bad. We passed the record amount of time between directs too.
Well, Roger's Base, if you're familiar with his channel,
Sure.
tweeted he got some Nintendo news, and it was exciting. Now, for Roger, that could mean
That could mean anything.
Yeah, that could mean Nintendo is releasing a Frozen game.
When did he pop that out?
Yesterday, apparently. I haven't checked the tweet.
They're gonna make a black yarn Yoshi.
Probably. No. He wouldn't tweet something like that unless he said really cool. It's probably a direct announcement, but he does have some inside track at Nintendo.
I think Roger is more. I think Roger's behind Shovel Knight. He did a video. I mean,
He's
for the record, I'd love Shantae or Shovel Knight. Either of them. Both of them have fantastic series. Well, games, things to them. I just want an indie to get in to kick that door open. Plus, I think something that folks might be forgetting with the suggestion boxes here, since these guys had to be voted in, is there really a guarantee they'll be back for a Smash 5?
Maybe. I mean, they like to keep as many characters as possible. But I don't think Sakurai's on Smash 5, so we might get some drastic changes.
You'll get oh crap, I'm blanking out on names. Help, somebody from Dead or Alive. Anybody.
Kasumi, Ayane.
Thank you. Either of them.
You just got lucky, Steve.
Masahiro?
Oh, Ryu. Not that Ryu, the other Ryu.
Which Ryu? Hayabusa?
Yeah. I guess I would have to call him Hayabusa in Smash, or otherwise it could get confusing.
Just find another Roy to make make Xander more angry. Roy!
It's a lot of Roys in anime.
Roy! It was just so fun seeing all the fan bases gathering at the end too. Like, come on, Snake! Come on, Rayman! Yeah! For the record, I don't see Rayman because screw Ubisoft.
Yeah. They've been terrible lately, especially with Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, do you want to talk about Midora and how it stole your money, Mark?
Yeah, pretty much. It took a lot of people's money, about 30. Well, before we go on into that exactly, Midora was a Kickstarter project to make basically a Minish Cap inspired game. It was going to be on like PC and such, and there's console goals for it too. They would come later, but they confirmed that they were going to do it. They wanted 60K. They got 60K. They got 73K. So they got what they asked for. Development was in for like a year at least, and then the updates start slowing down. That's always a little rough.
Yeah.
Then April, you find out that basically the money's already gone. Just lately now, anytime you get a Kickstarter notification from Midora, almost your typical backer reaction is, what now? What the hell now? because last we heard from them, they were looking for a publisher, just like anything and everything to try to get support the game to help get it done. They met with some publishers, but just could not get anything finalized. Some things about like their schedules and stuff, where it's like, okay, you're the ones asking for help now. I think you need to be the ones that compromise here.
They paid 60 grand to make a game. Maybe you should budget your funds before you spend the money.
Yeah. In their latest Kickstarter, they basically flat out said it turns out that they really should have been asking for, in order to finish the game now, it looks like they need 120. And that's what they kind of thought maybe at the beginning, so I wouldn't be surprised if lawsuits would come for this, because apparently that's in term of service.
Yeah.
People ask for a refund, they are entitled to it.
Oh, definitely. That's ridiculous. And first off, if you don't know how to run a business, don't open a Kickstarter. If you know how to make a game, that's one thing. You need somebody with some financial common sense. Like, I want to do a Kickstarter for that Anime Crossing game we thought up way back in Season 1. But I don't know how to run a video game business. I'm not going to take people's money. Unless you want me to, listeners.
The Nerds at Lunch t-shirt project. We need 5...
We can do t-shirts right now. I can print them up.
No, shut up. 500.
I just don't need 1,000 t-shirts to sit in my bedroom while no one buys them.
Basically, the team right now is saying that they're gonna do all they can. I mean, they plan to actually release a demo of what they've got out so far to try to help generate interest going. Some people are wondering too little, too late, because if publishers even bother to check the Kickstarter, they're going to see all this. Yeah. It's like, oh, publisher not doing any of their homework. You got to hope for that. I mean, things can turn around, hopefully, for them real fast. I'd like to hope. Like, maybe they'll get somebody, or even if it takes time, like, I'm not sure if they were doing this full-time and now they have to do it part-time because they had to get extra, like, jobs. Because I think they were hoping that successful Kickstarter, quit their jobs, make this game, ? Profit.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
No, that's not how it works at all.
They should have delayed the game and kept their jobs.
Yeah, but you've definitely hit the nails on the head, Jason. Like bad budgeting, etc., and the money that people gave them is gone. So they control their own destiny here. They gotta start being more upfront, do everything they can to make their backers happy, because they're gonna start asking for refunds.
They're gonna have to file for bankruptcy this week, unless they somehow can finish the game.
So they gotta dig deep, do what they can, because it's gonna get nasty probably. So keep people happy, or you're gonna get a mob scene going. And I mean, it's kind of like the It's a Wonderful Life run on the bank. Your game's not here. Your game's at Bill and Fred's house. What the hell you doing with my game, Frank?
They should have got noted business mastermind KG Inafune to
straight out of budget.
No. See, now he ran out of budget, but what he did was make Kickstarters to add extra features. And use that to get more budget.
Funny thing, Shovel Knight actually ran out of money.
But they still finished the game, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, to be fair, they ran out after the game was finished. That's why Plague Knight took so long. But to their credit, they honored their commitment. They didn't have to provide the extra stuff.
And reading through comments like on the update that they did, you get a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is my first and last Kickstarter-backed project." It's like, guys, just don't make it that way. Just do more research. Go with a gut feeling. Get people who are actually like involved with the industry. It's like if they say, for example, Ukulele's Kickstarter was next, would you honestly say no to them after this Kickstarter? I mean, come on, they're actually professionals.
They actually gave a very, very comprehensive business plan.
Yes. So don't let one clearly inexperienced rookie team sour you completely. Just be more cautious. If you're in extreme doubt, give like the lowest amount you can, like $1 or whatever, and then just if PayPal maybe after it's over, and if you want to do more. I mean, granted, you can't do anything once it's closed per se, except for asking for a refund. But just watch out for updates they're doing. Try to do some homework on them. So don't let bad ones ruin it for the good ones. I mean, for games like Midora and there's tons of other ones out there. I can't remember their names. People were listing them off in the comments too. But for all them, you then get stuff like Shovel Knight and Ukulele and hopefully Bloodstained. Even though we haven't heard anything from a while, but
I trust Iga.
Yeah, they're working. My number 9's on that line right now, so we can't really.
Coming out soon, Mark. Don't worry.
Next 2 years from now. And I'll even put Shantae Half Genie Hero on the list of goods because WayForward's being completely upfront with stuff. They're updating. Heck, they even just put out an update yesterday where you can vote on a character costume for one of the extra chapters.
Oh, you'll get a kick out of this, Mark, before we go on break. Mighty number 9 has been delayed to 20XX.
Sigma!
That's 21XX. Okay. When we come back from break, we're going to do a little anime talk. And we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Here's the anime half of the show. So, first up, we're going to do a little bit of the start of the fall season. All of these were on our list from our special episode. You can check out the link in that show note, and it'll take you to where you can watch these. Most of them are on Crunchyroll or Funimation, though, in some form. One Punch Man, which we'll cover, is on Hulu. And so is, I haven't watched it yet, but the new Gundam is on Hulu as well. That we'll probably talk about next week. So, first up, Concrete Revolutio. The plot for this is 4 miles long and didn't need to be. If you remember that horrible read of it from the special. Basically, every anime in anime history is happening in Japan all at once. Every children's show, too, basically. Ultraman was in there. And to deal with this, there's a superhuman population bureau, and they protect good superhumans and sometimes kill them if they're harming people. The plot really isn't the draw of this show. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, they definitely... I think we even mentioned it when we were talking about it before. It just kind of has that like kind of artsy style to it where it's got a lot of color, and I guess the way that some of the stuff's drawn just kind of stands out. So you're kind of looking at the backgrounds more than anything. I mean, even the characters are pretty colorful too. So it's like a lot of pastel colors and stuff.
It's an unusual color palette because it's a very dull gray background, but every major character is highlighted. Well, any character that speaks is highlighted in a brighter color. It's impressive. And honestly, even if the story's a little lame, the characters are funny too. So, hopefully by next week, have a wiki entry, so if we talk about it, I'll have the names.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, too, the first episode really jumped around. They were trying to go back and forth.
Part of it's in the future, and then a flashback, and they didn't make that quite clear. I'm hoping that's only for this episode, and they won't.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was just kind of give you some like a slight little backstory, and that hopefully the rest of it will continue on as the present time or whatever, which was like the latest part of it that we saw.
So, if you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch. It's at the very least a unique rarity for anime.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't what I was expecting. I was really expecting another Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah, that really disappointed me. Why did they need the robot suits?
Because
We'll do okay. That's another one to our list. What the heck is wrong with Tiger and Bunny? No. Next up, heavy object. This is okay. It starts out by describing what a heavy object is, and it is It's a sphere made of super armor with a bunch of guns on it. They heavily imply that Japan built it.
Certain island nation.
Yeah, certain island nation. Yeah, I wonder which one that could be. No, I'm sorry, Australia built it. So basically, Japan built the ultimate super weapon. It survived a nuke for destroying a NATO fleet or something. And now all wars are held in wastelands by these single heavy objects. And that's the setting. The four main characters so far are wimpy blonde dude who's going to become the best pilot, his perv best friend, big boobed commander who smokes, and super awesome pilot lady who probably dies. I don't know their names yet. I don't think they're really important to the premise of the show. Okay, honestly, one of the first things you see is the girl taking a shower. The show knows what it is. It's explosions and TNA.
There wasn't even really any reason for the showers.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just kind of spliced in there.
Yeah, it's just there for no reason.
Sex cauldron? I thought they'd closed that place down.
But you know what? The mech designs are so weird, and the fights apparently are just that brutal that I'll give it a shot. They don't really show much, but it looks like most of these things are decided in one hit. So that'll be an interesting. It'll add a twist to the battles, I guess.
This is definitely one that, I mean, none of the characters really stood out, and the story just kind of seemed kind of meh. But I feel like it's worth giving a couple more episodes just to see how it plays out.
They did a flash forward thing too, and I don't really care for. We'll see. Maybe the kid that. What I don't get is if the armor is what makes this thing so cool, can't they put that armor on other vehicles? Like you could probably make a fighter jet with one of those lasers. But mecha.
I don't even know how those cannons, like I can understand like the main body staying, like lasting through this nuke and having like the whole like melted exterior shell, but I don't know how the cannons have just as much armor.
I don't know. Well, it said what was left of its armaments, so apparently the nuke stopped about halfway. It only hit some of its cannons. I don't know. That was ridiculous. You don't stop a nuke. They would have just fired another one anyway if it didn't work. That was so ridiculous. It's baptism by fire. It's hilarious. It's obviously not going to be the winner of the mech anime this season, but it's still. What? It's basically. I don't know why they picked the shape they did, but it's just. It's fun to watch. Like I said, like what Steve said, I'll give it a couple more episodes. Okay, next up, One Punch Man. I was a little disappointed by the first episode.
So I've heard a lot of people talk about the manga. I mean, I've never read it, but I just feel like the concept of it seems really hard to see where the show's going to go, because it just seems like if he can defeat anybody in one hit, then like what kind of, like, I don't know, I can't see much of like a big final kind of thing at the end of the series or whatever.
It's a little complicated. It's less about him finding a big fight and more about realizing that what he should use his power for is helping people. It's weird. I don't really want to spoil it, but basically his character arc is more about finding people he can hang out with, friends and family that he cares about, and then he becomes the hero he wanted to be instead of the guy looking for a fight. Also, it's pretty funny. It gets more ridiculous as it goes on. This one had a few jokes here and there, but I'll be honest. Like I said, it was a little slow paced. Once he meets the cyborg in the next episode, though, things get hilarious.
So I figure that one's definitely one worth continuing to watch, since I know it's pretty popular, so I'm sure it'll get better.
If you have a chance, you should read some of the manga. It's paced a little differently, and it's much funnier.
I think the first volume of the manga is out in the States.
It's a webcomic, too. The art's a little different, but you can find the webcomic translated for free. Either way, the first episode, like I said, the only problem I had with it is there weren't a ton of jokes, and I recall the first few chapters a little differently. Sorry, but that might just be memory failing me. But it gets hilarious as it goes. And then, finally, Asterisk. I'm sure there's more to it, but just Asterisk is what I put here because we forgot to add it. This is your standard high school for mutant ninja children setup. Main character is looking for his sister, and it looks like it's going to end or at least involve a tournament. But I like the character designs, and the fighting is actually pretty neat. So, I think this might have been more one of your favorites than mine, Steve. Did you like it?
Well, I mean, it's one that's still on my list, but I mean, it does feel kind of generic, so I can't call it like a favorite. So
yeah. I mean, I hate these because I really want to know what happens. So I watch them to the end. Nothing ever happens.
I was just kind of, I don't know, just me with my whole voice actor thing too. I just kind of like always checking as I'm watching who everybody is when a character is introduced, and I just thought it was funny. I don't know if it's just that I'm not too familiar with his voice actor, but the guy who does Jack Atlas, since he just recently showed up in Arc 5 and now all of a sudden he's in this show too. So I don't know if his voice actor is just kind of coming back into the business again, because I don't think he's really done much recently.
I think he did sound familiar. Is it the man?
He was the guy at the end with like that axe weapon.
Oh.
Who's like picking a fight with the girl.
His Jack Atlas was pretty good. Still is.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep you updated on this. Our typical rule is 3 episodes, and then we tell you whether to bother with it past that. So I'm sure we'll come back to some of these. And then finally, we're going to finish the last of the summer season stuff. Overlord finished. A little disappointingly. With a huge setup for a second season. Not even the typical, I'll keep that no matter what, because I'm the ruler. They flat out said, oh, hey, we should go and kill these dudes.
Build the lizard army or whatever.
I want to see what happens. Lizard men, dang it.
I think that, I mean, there was like a little promo video for trying to sell the first DVD Blu-ray they had. It was like in the same style as like the little web series that they had. So I know that I forget if it was Crunchyroll or Anime News Network that had a link to the video, and it was just essentially him teaching the ways of, I wish they had it subtitled, but it was just kind of him just kind of showing how to market.
I love those little shorts. I don't think they're subbed anywhere, are they?
No, I mean they are unofficially out there for at least the little that I don't know how it was like Pleiades or whatever series, but I mean at least this little advertisement one wasn't anywhere as far as I know.
That's annoying. Hopefully this gets a season 2. I really like it, and I just like the character progression because it's comedy basically whenever they're all together as a group, and then you get that nice balance with these crazy fantasy elements. And the fights tend to be really neat too. The last fight was a little boring.
Yeah, I mean it was okay, but yeah, it was I think it was kind of obvious how what was going to happen, so I
So
guess they tried to make it seem like he wasn't sure if he could win, but I think it was pretty
yeah, that
obvious.
whole thing dropped because he was gonna win from the beginning. Everyone knew that. Ugh. So I mean, overall, it had some pacing issues, but if you can make it to the Necromancer arc, Overlord is really, really good. And you get to hear Madoka get crushed to death by a skeleton. Then next up, Charlotte. Now we talked a little bit about this in our last summer season wrap up, but okay, so the last episode was basically the worst case scenario. It was a montage. Uh, there's sort of an opening for a second season, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't really, I can't imagine them really doing much with it because I mean, at this point, all the powers were all, you know, he got all of them. So I mean, all they need to do now is just kind of have that vaccine or whatever dispersed around.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is he has the power to heal, so he could have given his brother his sight back and probably restored his sister's memories. But they sort of gloss over that, which is weird.
Well, I mean, I didn't even like. I mean, I don't know if maybe he'll eventually kind of remember everything, but I didn't like how they had. I mean, I guess it makes sense that he was just so overloaded with all these different powers that he just like his whole memory was just shot.
He lost the ability to sleep too, so I'm sure that didn't help. Now the other question is, well, does he keep all these powers and only lose his ability to steal powers? When he gets older, his power goes away, but he stole all those powers, so does he keep all those?
I mean, not that I know how they were thinking, but I would assume that it's all linked to his main power, and if that goes away, then I would think the other ones would too.
See, I kind of thought that they made up the your power goes away as you get older. She just said that to him, so he didn't realize he had the power to steal.
I mean, I don't know how old his older brother was supposed to be either, because he seemed kind of older to be still using that power.
Yeah, he was at least 3 or 4 years older than them, and he was 16 during the first time. Yeah, he had to be in his 20s. It, like I said, there's a lot they could explain about it. It's not a huge deal. Um, Usually, I think they could have done with a 24 episode show though, and just shown in more detail what was happening to him as he went and took all the powers. It just kind of got cramped. But I mean, it was a fine show though. I think overall, I would recommend it to somebody.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was even based on anything or if it was an original.
Now they tend to do originals. They did Angel Beats and something else I can't remember. But a lot of their shows are teenagers in really bad situations. Charlotte, I think, was the first one where it was not as serious until after that twist.
Yeah, it definitely had a a big shift at that point.
Yeah, I think that should have happened earlier, but what are you going to do? I think probably they were scheduled for 24 at some point and wrote the story. Because it's paced like a 24 episode anime, right up until the end. If you like, I don't even know how to classify this. I guess slice of life that then goes a little dark. You'll like Charlotte. I won't spoil when twist happens, but when it happens, your mind will be blown.
It was all Aizen's plan all along.
Yes. You mean his Keikaku mark?
Jesus.
Okay, and then next up is actually I am ... I'm not saying the dots to be funny. That is the title of the show in English.
Jitsu wa watashi wa.
Or you can say what Steve's. This was cute. Even the ending was just so dumb that I couldn't be mad at the show. The hammer, the biggest brick joke in the world, came back, and I loved it. As harems go, if this got a second season, I don't think I would be mad at it. I like their weird twists on vampire lore. Like a cross means you want to fight somebody instead of hurting them. And,
I think it was a fun show. I'd be interested in at least picking up the manga if they don't plan on doing anything more.
I think I would get sick of it after a while because I don't think they have any interest in resolving anything.
Well, yeah, I guess that usually tends to be how most of those go.
Yeah, but I could do a second season of the anime. I like the little demon principal too.
Yeah, she was one of the most entertaining characters, and I mean, I kind of was keeping an eye on her from the beginning just because, again, with my whole voice actor thing. She's done by Ichimichi Mao, who she was Gokai Yellow in Gokaiger, the Pirate Ranger series, and ever since then, she just kind of on her social media and stuff made it pretty apparent she was a big anime fan, and it seems like that after she was on Gokaiger that she got moved into the anime voice acting now, so she's been in a lot of stuff recently.
Well, I think that's what the smart actresses do in Japan, because that's where you can stay well into old age if you know what you're doing. And I'll be honest, I did watch his sub, but she was really good. Like, her obsession over that chocolate was really sore. I love. What did she try to make instead of a chocolate cake? It was something like potatoes.
I can't remember.
It was so ridiculous, and then she made a chocolate cake. She followed the recipe. That's the best part. Okay, this show just made me laugh, and especially the first episode isn't that impressive, but go right to the second episode after, and when you find out what the class president is, that will sell you on how just this show is. As harems go, this is probably one of the cutest I've seen in a while, and it's nice. None of the characters are mean. None of them do that weird competition shit. They're all friends. They all care about each other. The glasses girl is maybe the worst character, and even she's not that bad.
I always found it funny with her whole thing with hanging them with the hose.
Yeah, that was a little too specific not to be something that happened to the author. So yeah, give it a watch. It's 13 episodes, and it's worth it. Then last up, Food Wars ends on a cliffhanger. If you'll remember, this tournament is in the preliminaries.
Yeah.
Now, we knew it was going to get a second season, but this is the absolute stupidest place to end this. Because you got to wait till January for probably 5 episodes to finish up the tournament. Unless they use all 13, which would drive me nuts. Oh my god.
So I mean, I'm sure that they just didn't want to skip too much. They just felt that was as far as they, getting it in a 2-season time frame, that's as far as they could go. I mean, they at least completed that part of the competition, but yeah, we got to have to wait for the rest of it.
Unfortunately. But it's a shonen, and it is extremely popular, so we'll get more of this as it goes on. And like I said, I'm sure I've said several times, the budget for Food Wars really is irrelevant, because the fights are just them chopping. And it's a lot of standing still. So the show can look fantastic on a shonen anime budget. It's quite impressive. So I'm sure it's guaranteed the run of the manga, which is actually progressing forward in time. So unless there's a college division at this school. It'll probably end in the next 2 or 3 years.
It'd be nice if they at least mentioned a second season, though. So it makes me feel like it might be one of those shows that it could take a good few seasons before we see it again.
Yeah, that would suck. On the way they left it, they have to do it in January. I think it's been confirmed.
I mean, I was just kind of browsing real quick. I didn't see anything,
Yeah,
but
I'm sure they'll mention it soon.
I mean, like Magi, for example.
Oh yeah, Magi did take a while between.
That was one that, yeah. I mean, they did the 25 episodes and they took a big break and they came back for another 25. So I guess it depends on if they plan on doing something like that or not.
Yeah. It might be that Food Wars was okayed for 24 and they're just taking a break.
Yeah. Oh well.
No, it's already
keep up with the
24.
news. Yeah.
It's hard to remember. In the meantime, if you want to know how that resolves, the manga is out, and I think it's well past this arc. If you're turned off by ecchi, most of that gets toned down.
Yeah, that's it. For the very first episode, I was just kind of not sure what to think of it, because it just seemed like it would just be essentially, tons of those type of scenes, and that would be the majority of the show. But I mean, I definitely, all the characters are really fun.
It sort of goes in the Yakutate Japan territory, where the reactions are noticed by everybody, and it becomes sort of a limitless test to see if their dish is impressive. The chairman has taken the top of his shirt off. But yeah, if you like silly shonen shows, Food Wars you can do much worse than Food Wars. You could be watching Dragon Ball Super, the ugliest show in the world. Which I'm sure we'll talk about if I ever get around to watching the rest of it.
You saw that, what I linked earlier, the cover for the opening single had Golden Frieza on it, so I think that confirms him being in Super soon.
I hope.
You can call this form Gold Frieza.
There's a lot of weird stuff with Super. I don't know if Frieza's going to be season 2, or I guess we'll find out. So that's going to wrap up the show for today. You can find us on Twitter at Nerds at Lunch, on Tumblr, nerdsatlunch.tumblr.com. You can email me directly, megatron1@gmail.com. Feel free to ask anything. If you have an interesting question, we'll answer it on the show. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be video games or anime. We have varied other interests that we just don't have time to cover.
Could even be a series recommendation or a thought.
Oh yeah, we're happy to recommend television shows or anime. There are even games if you're looking for something specific. And then you can also find us at facebook.com/robothousepodcasts. And then you can follow Steve specifically on facebook.com Otaku Henshin Online or his store otakuhenshin.com.
Which will be getting Marth Nendroid. Woo!
Yes. Steve gets all the hot and super deformed figures that are disturbingly cute. And here's a hint. He might get more of those figures if you buy some. He actually he has access to preview images and stuff. And I'll be honest, I can't say what they are, as I don't want to screw up his orders, but there's some upcoming figures that are pretty cool. So check out Otaku Henshin. Maybe we'll try to do a coupon code or something. I don't know how to set that up exactly. But if we do get one, I will post it on the Facebook page. And maybe you can get 10% off shipping or something. So,
we'll see you all next week.